Alright folks, one of the most feared jobs in the auto industry, the infamous Subaru rear wheel bearing. I have no idea if that's a true statement, but for today's video we're going to assume it is. In the Northeast, guys have quit their job instead of doing these. There's rumor that some guys have quit, become cosmetologists. I don't know if that's true either, but I've heard the rumor. So today I'm going to end those fears for you. Show you a trick me ma taught me. But first we have to get to the bearing, so we're going to pull the brakes off. Customer request new brakes in the rear, as well as both rear wheel bearings. Whoa, man down. So we're going to see what we can do. And I'll show you the key to success with these things. Hopefully, it might blow up in our face. Come on, man. And if it does blow up in our face, you'll be right there along with us. Never brought out the dog in a while. I think it's mean, boy. So we're gonna take the parking brakes off. Maybe. There we go. Come on, little fella. Oh, right on the ground. Deliveries are showing up. Alright, now we're going to take it right off the cable here. Just like so. Peel the bolts out. We're almost done, folks. I'm going to reach up here on the back side. 14 mm. I want to give it a tap. It'll swivel. And then we got 4 of those little guys to take out. There we are, folks, last bolt. I'm gonna tell you, folks, I have tried every method known to man to get these things off. Presses and pullers and you name it. It doesn't work. These things are stuck like them. I think these things even in Florida are stuck. They go into the knuckle quite a long ways. And unfortunately, there's nothing to press against here. So if you're using the Lyle tool that we had that bolts on here, it's got the forcing screw, you can push against the caliper bracket. I wouldn't suggest it because you're just going to break it. You're going to need a whole knee assembly by the time you're done. use the Astro Tools last chance slash first try remover. The trick I've used where you remove the bolt, you know, the wheel bolt, and you know, stick a forcing screw through there. All it does is, you know, pop the hub face off. I've done it where I've left the axle nut on, doing that method. You really take a chance of breaking the speed sensor when you do that. It kind of works, but usually it ruins all the bolts and you're really super pissed off by the time it's off. So I'm going to show you a method that I find that works as the easiest, but first thing you gotta do is get this hub face off. The other thing that folks will say, you'll see down in the comments, is that they put the bolts in from the backside and then just, you know, tap on them and then the hub comes off. It's not going to happen. I promise you, on these Subarus that will not work. It works on a lot of cases and that's a great way to do it, but on these you're going to end up buying 4 new bolts and you're just going to push the threads right out. You got to trust me, folks, these things are stuck. So give that a couple whacks, get it right out of your way. And then you're going to want to go break out the welder. I'm going to show you. A lot of people ain't going to like this, but I'm all about just getting the job done, so you have to get past it. Come in here with the old drill and a burr. Give that a little polish. And then we're going to grab a bolt, wherever I did with it here. I'll find it, stand by. And here's the plan. I take a 1/2-inch bolt out of the bolt bin. It'd be better if you had one that was threaded all the way, but in this case, this one's not. We're going to stick the bolt up here with these nuts. We're going to weld it onto the bearing, and then we're going to stick another nut under here, under this nut. You'll see why, trust me. This is a tried and true method that I've used, and it works. So the problem, I guess what we're ultimately doing is we're just trying to get the bearing housing to crack out of the knuckle. And that's all you need to do, is you just need to get it to pop. If you're inclined to just stick a single nut up here and weld it, you can't get enough booger on it to keep it from just snapping off. It just torques down, falls off. So I found in my limited experience that welding 2 of them keeps it from getting all cattywampus, I guess. And then sticking another one under here just fills the space. You could probably use a smaller nut under there, but I'd grab 3 1/2-inchers. So that's what we're going to use. You'll understand here in a minute, and you'll thank me, especially if you work in the shop and you've turned in your 2-week notice over doing one of these bearings. And the best part is, you don't even have to be a YouTube certified welder to do this, because it's, you know, it's just going in the trash anyways, so nobody can really criticize how crappy of a welder you are. So it's kind of a win-win. I'm going to back this one all the way out here. I'm going to hold this one here flat. I'm going to give it a little tack. Just to kind of hold it in place. I might have it down too far. Nope, not too bad. Not too bad at all. You don't need a lot of thread, because we're only going to give it just a short push. So we'll stick that one under there. Oh, try again. I wanted to push down on that a little bit here. Dang it all the heck. This is the story of my life right now. This is real world stuff here, folks. I wanted to see if I can get it kind of jammed under there a little more, but that's good enough. We're going for it. We're done fiddling. Give that a little tack right there. A little tack right there, and then tack the nut to the nut. And that's it, folks. Now this thing's gonna be kind of jammed in there. Don't sweat it, just leave it in there. When you start welding, it's gonna be moving, and it doesn't matter. We just need to be able to force it against the backing plate that's behind here. There's a really small area that you can push. And ideally, it'd be nice to have 2, but you'll see. We're only gonna need one. It's pretty cavemanish. I tell you what, you'll want to give me a little hug when you do one of these. Let's see here, get the old helmet on. The welding setter is nuclear, so set it as high as it goes. Just fry this little fella. Alright, we're going to give that a go. I'm not super happy how I've got the nut welded on the inside, but it might be enough to hold it. Do what we have to do. Let it cool down there for half a second. Oh, fella, too close. We'll grab the 3/4 socket on the 1/2-inch Uggy Duggy. We'll get some Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Get it? We'll put that on there. We'll put it around things. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need Panther P because it's not going to do squat. Okay? Here we go, fellas. Nope, I knew she wasn't stuck good. Gosh dang it. Let's stinking idiot. Let's try this again. I can't really get in there. I should have welded that one first. Let me see if I can't booger it a little bit more. We're off kilter right now, so it may not work. Might have to do round 2. But that's what happens sometimes. This ain't Hollywood. If you can't weld good, weld a lot. That's what my motto is. Oh, now you did it. I'm always doing it. Not where I want it. This one isn't going to work, I bet. Work like a charm, like a dream. I'm over here dreaming. Then you want to break out the dog, because now we got her cracked sideways here. These are pretty precise fit. Woo! Say what? Who just won the war? Want to go to war, Balaki? Let's see. I got the hammer right here. Subaru wheel bearing what? That's how you win, son. And that really is it, folks. We go here and clean out the rust. These suckers go in this backing plate a long ways. Well, plus they go through the backing plate, which is solid. This has a hard metal piece behind it, so they're stuck in that. They're stuck in the knuckle. It's awful. So it's not too bad a job, folks. For the DIY at home, maybe not. This might be one bearing I would tell the folks at home you probably shouldn't do. And if you go to a shop, you probably should ask them if they have any experience removing them. The last thing you want to do is get slapped with a 8-hour bill because they just couldn't get it apart, and you end up doing the whole knuckle and everything. They are really awful to do. Anybody that's done one, pretty terrible. Unless you know the tricks, then you're walking the park, baby. So we're just going to lightly snug these up, and then we'll go through and torque them all to factory specs here. There's that. Oh, let's see, another day. And you don't even really have to worry about the mark you put on the backing plate. It's pretty insignificant here. Let me get some brake clean. Haven't had that in a while. We're going to take some of our silly ceramic, touch all the spots here. Touch them twice. Hang our shoe. Find a pin. Find a retainer. Through the back side. I did see on the internet, I posted a picture of me doing one of these one day, welding and taking one of these off. It was on the Facebook, maybe on the Insta. Somebody mentioned that they make a puller for these. So I looked it up, watched some guy use it. It takes about a half a day to get it on and hooked up, and then I think it was a tune of about $900. So I think I'm gonna keep doing it this way because this only costs a couple dollars. Providing you have a welder, I suppose. Maybe in the comment section you can say what, as a DIYer, what you guys have done to do these. I'd be curious to know. Let's see, right? Am I going the right way with this thing? Yes, sir. Get my spring foot down. Back in on the parking brake lever. There we go. It doesn't go that way, that's the way it's going now. We should be good though. We just don't want the shoes to fall off, that's all. That's all. Oh, got my finger. That looks right, right? I think this thing's seized up. Yes, sir. This side's not. Let me get this broke free. She's free now, boys. We'll slide that little gap in there, because we are putting some new brakes on it while we're back here. Want to be able to adjust them. Perfect. Just in case we have any fingerprints on it, we'll get rid of the evidence. Not that anybody uses their parking brake, but we'll make sure it works when it leaves. That's it, baby. Gotta give it the customary flip around. It's very important. Find an axle nut. Oh God. That'll hold that. The rubbers was missing there already out of parking brake. Let's get a bracket. Slide that little fella on. Now don't just go slapping on your rusty, crappy old bracket. You got to clean out all the rust where the pad ears go. You guys have seen us do it a million times, so I didn't show you. I don't show you on the 1,000,001. We're gonna come through and torque those specs, but make sure your your pins are free. The pads, they gotta move in and out easy. I'm talking like boom, just barely touch them. Like watch them barely. I could pinky finger that if I wanted to. Take your caliper, push it back with the pushy back tool, clean the piston face, lubricate the metal to metal surfaces, slip that baby on. Hey, it's that guy. It's that guy again. Now we're going to take and we're going to snug these up. We'll come back through. Like I say, we'll torque everything to factory specs, so you don't have to worry about that. We still have to tighten up our axle hub nut there. Prior to doing that, though, we're going to reach through our little star adjuster. Make sure you made a mental note of which way it needed to turn, and we're going to wind her all the way out. We want our little parking brake shoes to come out till they hit. Ooh, right there. Ooh, tight as a mud. We're going to back her off a few clips. Yeah, come on. Make sure your spring's wound up in your star adjuster there. Yes, sir. Oh, whoop, easy fella, easy. Oh, might have to get a smaller screwdriver here. Get a sticker in that way. Do this one-handed. Oh, that's danger, danger. There we go, we got her. 177 FTLBS. Now before you put the wheel on, make sure you peen down your axle nut down into the groove of the axle, keep her from backing off. Free tip for you, if the OG groove lines up here and there's nothing left to peen over, take the axle nut off this side and swap it for the one on the other side, and chances are they don't line up in the same exact spot. So, or buy a new axle nut like you're supposed to, one or the other. Alright folks, that's it. Rear wheel bearing on your Subaru. Doing it the easy way, we'll say. We'll use our little claw hands and make these quotes because it's not super easy, because you have to have a welder. If you're a DIYer, you might not have a welder, and if you don't, just go buy one. Because it might be cheaper than paying somebody to do your wheel bearing on your Subaru. I don't know that for a fact, but these things are a mother lover. I've tried, as I mentioned earlier in the video, all the tricks, all the different pullers and finagling things you can get on here to try to get these things to break loose, and you know, double air hammer and bolts from the back. I mean, you name it. Tried making up swear words and they still don't come off. And that's the method I ended up using one time in a fit of rage, and I'm like, oh wow, that worked pretty well. I have to remember that. And then ever since then, when these come in, that's just my go-to. I don't try anything else first because they're super duper stuck. We grab a couple nuts and a bolt and we weld them up. I'm so freaking childish. And we weld them up on there and boom, you know, Bob's your uncle. So you guys seen how we do it. I'd be curious to know how you guys have done it in the comment section in regards to Subaru rear wheel bearings, that is, and how your shop gets them off. And that's it. While you're down there telling me that story, subscribe to Insta, the Facebook, ring the bell, get the notifications. You guys know what to do at this point. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.